Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Russia, the recent events that occurred there, the coverage of those events, and how it might be unintentionally misleading. And we'll talk about what it might mean for the future because something happened, and generally speaking, once it starts happening, it continues. Once that first domino falls, there's a lot of them in the line down the road. And it's something that I think most people expected to occur, but now we have reporting that it is occurring. A general, Surovikin, he was the number 2 over Ukraine. Reporting suggests that he has been detained. Now, the obvious question here is why? Why was he detained? That doesn't matter yet because we have to talk about what detained means, what it could mean. At this level of Russian society, you are not dealing with laws. All of this is extrajudicial. Okay? It's not about laws at this point. It is about political posturing, jockeying for position, and whether or not somebody had a bad day. It's palace intrigue stuff, not legal stuff. Detained could mean anything from general, you need to go chill at your mansion and get out of the public eye for a little bit. Or it could mean general, you need to decide what you would like for your last meal. It could mean either one of those or anything in between. Why? The conventional wisdom and the public-facing stuff suggests that Putin believes he knew about Wagner's little, cooing thing ahead of time. Is that true? Maybe. It could mean that, or it could mean that he was actively involved in the planning of it. It could mean that he said something that Putin doesn't like. It could be that the boss of Wagner has spoken highly of him and suggested that he should be the number 1 rather than the number 2. It could be that. We don't know, and odds are we probably never will. We don't know what's going to happen. What we do know is that if he has been detained, as reporting suggests, the first domino has fallen in what is likely to be a purge. This is bad for militaries. This is bad for militaries because what happens is that as soon as something like this starts, or even the appearance of one, which we definitely have, the commanders who are worried about being next, they start employing, let's just call them aggressive disciplinary tactics on their subordinates. And it rolls downhill. It is horrible for morale when this starts. People don't know what to do. The other thing is people are no longer allowed to exercise any initiative. The commanders want those troops to follow the orders to the letter, which, that sounds great, military discipline and all of that stuff, but when you are talking about combat, you have to be adaptable. No plan survives first contact with the enemy. So if you have to follow that plan no matter what, you and your guys may not come back. Putin starting something like this at this time is a horrible move. Russian military morale is already super low. They already are already, let's just say, less than 100% loyal. This is going to exacerbate that issue. It is horrible news for Russia. It's good news for Ukraine. So that chain of events apparently has started. Putin is probably going to start acting more and more like the stereotypical authoritarian leader. See, he's always put on this good face and walked out there, and he's tried to avoid that image. But deep down, that's always who he's been. He is now in a position where the mask has fallen. He's not invincible. He's scared because he's weak, and he's been shown to be weak. His troops think he's weak. best case scenario, based on the evidence that we have, is that his number two over Ukraine was cool with a coup, or has signaled to the boss of Wagner to such a degree that Wagner's boss would install him. This is bad news for Putin. He is going to start behaving more and more like just a authoritarian goon, because he doesn't have to keep up the mask anymore, because he can't, because he's scared. He was demonstrated to be weak. He's losing face. He's walking around saying he's the king. If you got to tell people you're not. So the paranoia will probably continue to spiral. We may see other people be detained. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.